Hello and welcome to this tutorial for how to use Dr. Read. Dr. Read is essentially your digital AI reading tutor. And today we're going to do a quick demonstration for how we can utilize Dr. Read. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to use Dr. Read to read whatever you want to read about. This is really important. So reading the things that you like is actually arguably the most important thing in terms of you becoming a better reader. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to find something that actually interests you, something that's written about, and find an article. So for example, let's say we want to find something game related. We can find an article in that kind of sense. We can find something about, let's say, Mythopedia, if you're into mythology. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be an article about Taylor Swift. Independent of what it is, it just has to be something that you like. All right, so let's, for example, go with Greek mythology. And then here you can, for example, let's see, I want to hear more about Athena. All right, cool. So now let's actually jump in and see how we can utilize the Dr. Read Chrome extension. The first thing you want to do is you want to deploy the Chrome extension. So just click here and then say read current page. All right, welcome to our Dr. Read reader. And so here you can see already that the text that we have has been loaded into our Chrome reader. So the thing that we saw here, the article on Athena, has been now populated into our reader. And we can skip through the article using these little navigation buttons here that allows us to go back and forth through the different pages of the article. And then we can see that there's a little microphone in the center here. And we have a section here with 3 indicated scoring areas. So let's start by reading a little bit, and I'll talk you through how the different features work. All right, we're just going to start anywhere in the text, wherever you would like. You just jump right in and start reading. One day, Athena suddenly burst forth from Zeus' forehead. She was fully grown, armed with a spear, and dressed in her battle armor. Some accounts featured Hephaestus, Prometheus, or another mythical figure serving as a midwife of sorts by prying open Zeus' head with an axe. All right, very graphic bit there, but again, it's just important that you read whatever you like. Okay, so we can see here that we now have a score for the reading. So we have a completeness score, an accuracy score, and a pronunciation score, which is really cool. But you might have realized that I struggle with armed and Hephaestus. So let's take a look at the 2 words that we did not get quite right. So we can click on the word, and then these are essentially like flashcards, right? So within this section here, we can go through the words, we can listen to it, armed, so that we know how it's supposed to be pronounced, and then we can practice. Armed. You see now it's evaluating. Let's see how we did. Okay, we didn't quite get it right, so let's see where we can improve. If I click on the word, I get a breakdown of the subcomponents and how they're supposed to be pronounced. So we can see here is that while the R was good, I struggle with the D sound. So I have to pronounce that a little bit more significantly. So let's try that again. Armed. All right, scoring happens, and it sounds or looks like we got it right. We can check in, and 97 there. Very good. Again, think about this as like your flashcards. You can go skip back and forth through the whole thing. So you go to the next word, and what you'll see here as well is that the different syllables of the word are highlighted in different colors. So the redder it gets, the worse the score is. So if you look at the breakdown of each syllable, we can see that here, so the H and the I and the F sound, I did not get that quite right? And then if we go in here, you can see I did a little better, right? EST, Hephaestus, right? And so if I want to, again, practice how it's supposed to be pronounced. Hephaestus. Okay. So what you can see here is the results, the words that we're struggling with that we can use, and we can click through and practice, right? We have our overall score for how we did in the reading, and we can just really start and read wherever we want. The idea is that you as a reader can use this at your own discretion, right? So there's no pressure here to read this or constantly read out loud and constantly be recorded. Again, we built this tool specifically for dyslexics, and we know that dyslexia can feel a little bit like sprinting a marathon. And so in that sense, we want to enable you to just really enjoy the thing that you're reading in a clean environment that allows you to really focus in on what you're reading. And sometimes you can get a little exhausted, right? We all know this feeling, at least us dyslexics, we know it, where we get a little tired and we're like, oh, I need a break. So what we built in for that is you can just highlight the text, however much of the text that you'd like, and then you can just listen to it. Now, we would recommend for you to follow along because that helps you get better at understanding how certain words are supposed to be pronounced.
One day, Athena suddenly burst forth from Zeus' forehead. She was fully grown, armed with a spear, and dressed in her battle armor. Some accounts featured Hephaestus, Prometheus, or another mythical figure serving as a midwife of sorts by prying open Zeus' head with an axe.
All right, so you can stop it there and then get back to the reading. You can either read quietly or you can read out loud if you want to be assessed, right? But you'll see that there's two more features here. So let me talk you through those. The first feature I want to talk about is actually not highlighted right now. And that's because we've highlighted a large section of the text. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that if we want to look up the definition of a certain word, we just select that specific word. So let's give that a shot. Let's say I don't know what attributes means. So I highlight this, and now I can click on the dictionary function. And what you'll see here is first the syllable breakdown, then the part of speech, and the definition, right? So a construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Okay, that's an attribute, right? A synonym as well, dimension or property. So this allows us to actually understand what the word is that we're looking at. And get a definition for that. We can also press this little button here if we're just curious how that specific word is supposed to be pronounced.
Attributes.
Attributes. All right, cool.
Attributes.
What you'll see here is that we don't have the actual reading practice function. That comes later, right? So like we have to actually record ourselves so that the system knows that we are actually doing the reading, and then we could do the practice where we can, practice attributes. But for right now, this allows us to just highlight the word and then press dictionary and it pulls up the definition. Okay, cool. And then we can listen to it here as well. Now, let's try one more thing. Let's, for example, say this Hephaestus that we were talking about here. We don't know who this is. So let's see if Ask AI can help us with that. So let's ask, who is this? Hephaestus is a Greek god of fire, metalworking, and craftsmanship. He's known as the blacksmith of the gods and is associated with creating weapons and armor for deities. He's often depicted as lame and is the son of Zeus and Hera. All right, cool. So my point is, this allows you to get a little bit of help with understanding some extra context. So if you have any questions, instead of having to go to a different place, do a whole different Google search, or pull up some different search tool, all you can just do is just highlight the thing and then ask AI, and it'll give you some context around that. So again, a really helpful feature for you to get a better understanding and help you get along with reading the text that you're currently reading. Okay, so now, while we've already covered a lot of features here, I do want to show you really quickly how you can customize this whole layout. So let's say you don't like the dark mode. I know I'm a personally big fan of the dark mode, but I know a lot of people are not. So what we can do here is we can just click on our little balloon Chrome extension. That's if you have pinned it. If you haven't pinned it, you need to go in here and then press it. But let's assume you have pinned it. Then we're just gonna click on the little balloon and we're gonna go to settings. And here you can switch things around, right? So let's change it to light mode. And then let's say we wanna use Open Dyslexic, which is a font specifically designed for dyslexic. And let's say we want the text to be a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. Okay, so now we click done, but what we can see is that this has changed, but the actual page hasn't changed. So this one little extra step you gotta do here, you just gotta hit this little refresh button, and now the page has assumed the new settings that you set up, right? So here we have light mode, And in light mode, you can see that the text is also a little bit bigger, and that makes it a little bit easier for us to read, and it's in the dyslexic font. So that gives you a little bit of a breakdown of how you're supposed to use Dr. Read and what the different features are. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Let me know what you think, and if you have any feedback, right now we're super excited to have this version out, and we really want to know what you think. Really want to know what other features you would like to have integrated into this. Yeah, and we hope this helps you make reading a little bit more fun for whatever it is that you would like to read about, because that is, at the end of the day, the most important thing, is that we have fun while reading and that we, get better at reading fast. All right. So thank you very much for coming to this demonstration today. My name is Thor Weber. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Dr. Read, and dyslexic myself. We're here to try to make the reading experience better for everyone. Thank you very much, and have a great day.